So, in the age of air fryers and all this convenience cooking equipment that we have, a lot of people use rice cookers when they make their rice. It's convenient, easy to do it in bulk, whatever. Me, unfortunately, because of the space I have available and just being a purist for some things, I still do my rice from scratch in a pot. So, we can go through that right now. First and foremost, all these bags of rice have instructions. If you are new to cooking and just learning how to do this, follow the instructions. You always want to do that because then if you mess up, you know where you can go back and turn to. So, for example, this one says for every 1 cup of rice, you use 1.5 cups of water. This is also where your cooking equipment comes into play because you should have measuring cups and measuring spoons if you plan on doing a lot of cooking. It's just helpful. So, this is a 1/2 cup measuring cup. I'm going to make 2 cups of rice, so I'm going to do 4 of these, roughly. 1, 2, 3, 4. Like I said before, I keep my rice in the freezer. It's just better for me. Now, there's a lot of debate on this, and it sometimes depends on where you grew up, how you grew up, what your culture is. If you're doing anything other than like instant or minute rice, rinse off your rice. A lot of people have issues cooking rice because there's too much starch on the rice. You want to wash as much of that off as possible unless you're doing something that requires you to have like a very starchy rice product. I rinse mine in cold water. Submerge the rice, and I'll show you my trick to this in a moment. I would suggest getting yourself one of these little strainer baskets. Put the rice in the strainer basket inside a bowl. Rinse, rinse, rinse. You'll see all that starchy white water inside. That's the starch coming off of the rice. Pour that out. And you're going to do this about 2 or 3 more times until the water's completely clear. Okay. Now our rice is all rinsed and cleaned off. I'm going to leave it in here just to get the rest of the water out. I have 2 pots of water on the stove right now. Because you have to boil rice in hot water. I think a lot of the mistakes a lot of people make when they make rice is they just put the rice in the water in the pot and bring it to boil all together instead of rinsing it first and putting the starch reduced rice in there. And I think that's what the problem is. It gets sticky because there's too much starch cooking through it. Now, as much as I advocate for rinsing and cleaning your rice, bam. So this is a seasoned pack of yellow rice that was given to me for free with my grocery order. Something like this, you don't rinse or season. You don't rinse seasoned rice. You're gonna wash all the seasoning off. Just follow the instructions on the back. It says 1.5 cups of water. That's what the smaller pot is. Bring that to a boil. Add the rice and let cook for 20 minutes and stir, stir, stir. So we're just waiting for the water to boil, which is probably one of the most tedious portions of cooking outside of baking, in my opinion. But yeah, when you're making rice, just follow the instructions and it will come out almost perfectly every time. There's always going to be an issue or something comes up. You just work around it. Don't scrape the bottom of it. If it's too sticky or anything, you just put it back in the strainer. That's why I love this. Put the rice back in there, rinse it off real quick, and then just reheat it up and you're fine. But there's always ways to work around. But when in doubt, follow the directions. So we got our finished products ready to go. We got a nice fluffy yellow rice. Normally the yellow rice is made yellow with the addition of saffron or turmeric. Depending on where you go and who you purchase it from, you get this nice yellow color. Usually it's a side dish or mixed into things like paella or seafood and things like that. Then we have our nice fluffy white rice. I'm just going to stir, release all that heat that's in the bottom. You can see nice white rice. Simple, easy, no rice cooker, nothing's burned to the bottom. And it's not that hard. You put your butter and your salt in now that the rice kernels have opened up so that you can take in that flavor and you're good to go.